So Ronan is joining me today, our new colleague from the US. We
Hello.
both have been following you on LinkedIn, and we thought it would be nice to have a conversation.
For sure.
Yes.
Pleasure to
Where
talk
are
with
you
you guys.
currently?
I'm in Sweden today.
Sweden. Okay. Nice.
What about you?
Yeah, we're in Shanghai. The only foreigners here.
Is it in Japan or when is it? Where is it?
China, Shanghai, China.
China. You are right there in China right now.
Yes. So I studied here for an exchange semester after doing my bachelor's in Zurich. And then I met Shin, the founder, on a trip to Tibet. And we were in the same travel group. So it was really random and I decided to stay here. Now I'm here already since 2 years and very focused on fundraising outside of China. So currently mostly in Switzerland because I'm Swiss, but the Middle East we're really interested in. And obviously everywhere else too, but I think that's probably the best place to start.
Understood. So from what you have already told me before, as I can see here in the CRM, right now you are managing 200 million. That's in the management, correct?
Yes.
Okay, understood. And what it has already is the biggest issue from what you can see in the sales process, because that's what we had chat before on, correct? The sales process.
Right. Yeah, so basically new leads generation. So for now, I have been running probably 1.5, 2 years on warm leads from my side. But now I feel I'm getting to a corner of that universe. So new leads generation on the one hand. And on the other hand, when we had first calls, usually went well, or it seemed like it's going well, but the follow-ups, there's a bit of a leakage on every side. Like some follow-ups went well, then we talked 2-3 times. But as you always post a lot of tire kickers, it seems like it's not converting as fast as we would like. Of course, 2 years is a short time, I think, but maybe with your system goes faster. So we're trying to learn from you on that front. So most important, new leads and how to convert them.
Understood. How long it taking you to close the investment commitment in average?
On average, yeah, at least 12 to 16, 18 months.
Okay.
Yes.
And today, what are you doing to get new investors, our new LBS? What do you have for methods today?
So as I quickly mentioned, so the warm contact is basically just calling them up, saying, let's do a call or whatever, like meet in person if I'm there. Then I'll talk about the fund and so on. Then they check with their team and whatever, just some follow-ups, describing the strategy, explaining the terms, explaining how China is doing. And the other idea with getting new cold contacts has basically been posting on LinkedIn, commenting, reaching out in DMs. And I guess that's what I've been following on your side. I think when we first connected, you were like at 1,000 or 2,000 followers, and now you're at 10. So I think that was our idea. We just haven't scaled it as much yet. So I would like to internally push content creation, which has been a bit rough because not everybody believes as much in LinkedIn here as I do. And on the other hand, I think also CRM is a bit hard because we don't have it as structured yet. But that would be the idea, to create content, create trust, and then start reaching out cold. I think similarly as you've done with us, I think that's the modern way to do it. And another thing we've been doing is work with third-party marketers outside of China, where we promise them a cut if they successfully raise for us. Last 2 years has been a bit rough because China hasn't been that hot, but in the past we have seen up to 30 million US tickets from third-party marketers.
Understood. And when have you already closed a new investment? When was the last time?
So now we're launching this AMC. So it's basically it's the money is wiring now. So it's basically now or next week. So it's right around now, but the fund needs to just or the AMC needs to start, and then there will be inflows.
So
Like
you are looking to rise right now. What the capital targets that you are looking to rise?
Yeah, as I mentioned on LinkedIn, like the upper limit of the whole fund would be 1 billion, where we would soft close. I guess for the AMC, we are looking for 30 to 50, and then we would consider changing it to not a note, but to a fund. So either UCITS or Cayman. But we would need to look at that in detail as well. But for the AMC, I think 30 to 50 would make sense to run. And if you have more and keep the investors committed, a real fund would make more sense.
Understood. So you have the capacity up to 1 billion.
Yes.
Okay. And today, do you have any existing investors that you can start to have more re-ups from them, or you can start to onboard them to the AMC?
So the current investors, 90% of them are in China, in Chinese funds in renminbi. And for renminbi to move out of the country, if you solve that problem, you would be a billionaire by now. So there's capital controls. So they will definitely not invest in a US dollar AMC with UBS. We have some separate managed accounts outside of China in interactive brokers. So we will also market to them. But there's some commitment, but the re-ups in the new fund will be impossible because of capital restrictions. But we are, I guess in China, we're also raising money, but LinkedIn is impossible in China because it's restricted. So I think what makes sense with you is just everything outside of China, but maybe the sales process would also need some brush to improve it in China, but it's a bit different. So we're basically thinking of two different strategies in and outside of China.
Understood. On the sales process, as you told me, on the follow-up process, you had an issue right there. And on the closing side, it's taking you between 12 to 18 months to close the investment commitment, as you have already mentioned to me. At that case, it's taking you a lot of time to scale up. As you have already mentioned to me, you are at 200 million range. That's with the management before, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And since last time that we have already discussed the conversation right there, what have you already done? What have you already raised capital with?
Since we talked last time?
Exactly. Let's say from the beginning of the year.
So the fund, we were thinking it would start in May, the AMC. There's been a bit of a delay, so it's basically all in that pipeline. So I would say 5 to 10 million there.
Okay. Have you
in
signed
China? I'm actually not that involved. I don't know.
I mean, have you signed the investor agreement with them?
So it's the UBS. So we're working with UBS. So it's in the making. They haven't signed because the fund hasn't started, but the money is hiring.
But they have already seen the BPM document. They have already reviewed all the materials on you guys and everything from the due intelligence side.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Okay. And do you have any background on the marketing, on the sales process, on how you can make it, or how you can develop it for later on?
Well, I have the ideas with the LinkedIn as a top of the funnel tool, then basically getting them from LinkedIn on our website where we want to have more content similar to, I guess your YouTube is also a good way, I think. So I'm also thinking about that. But for now would be the website with some white papers and commentary, etc. And then bottom of the funnel would be calls where we discuss current Q&A and so on. So that would be roughly the top to bottom of the funnel process. But it's yeah, it's not. We're working on it right now, so I think it's better since I've been here, but it's definitely not perfect yet.
What have you achieved with it right now since you are working on it?
So since I came here, I think I had around 1,000 LinkedIn followers. I started posting once a week since November 23. On the end of 2024, I wanted to scale up the posting, but we haven't done it yet. But at least I'm now at 2,500 followers right now. So that I have achieved. I guess, at least 50 to 100 discovery calls. I guess close to 5 investors closed, I would say. So around that, yeah.
Okay, and what the check size of these investors in range?
Say again?
What the check size for these investors in average?
On average, I would say around 500 to a million, 500K to a million. So the biggest investor in that new AMC is 5 million. The rest is a bit smaller for now. Yes.
What the fee structure?
So in the new AMC, it's 1% management fee and 15% performance fee with high watermark. And the UBS will take a cut, 0.4% for their setup. And what is it? 0.1% on the trading. But on the Chinese funds, we have it's 1.520. But for the new AMC, we decided on a discount. But in the term sheet with UBS, it says we can raise it to 1.520 if we want.
To 20% on the back end.
Say again?
To 20% on the back end.
Yeah, performance fee. Yeah, so 1.5 management fee and 20% performance fee. Yeah.
Okay, understood. And when are you looking to start making things happen for your own AMC?
Say again?
When are you looking to start raising fund for the AMC?
Now.
So do you have the plan in the place? Have you already developed a roadmap on what you would do exactly to make things rolling
in? Well, exactly. I would say I haven't drawn it out as nicely as you in your videos, but I guess it's getting there. So maybe at 60%.
at 60%?
Yeah, or even less. Maybe I'm too optimistic, but yeah, I'm working on it.
Great. And before the end of the year, you would be at, as you have already mentioned it before, at 30 to 50 million in assets under management, or what are you looking to be at before the end of the year?
Well, that would be ideal, but so the trajectory now, I guess it's a bit slower. So if it would be at 10 to 20, would be great already, in my opinion.
10
but,
to 20.
Optimally would be 30 to 50, yeah. But I think the pipeline, from what I've built, I think it's less realistic that will be at 30 to 50. If not, you bring on big money in very short time.
Understood. And is it like the biggest issue right here? Is it the lead generation? You are not getting qualified investors, or is it like you don't have like the right ones, or you have the right ones, but they are not looking to go farther right now?
Yeah, I think getting the right new ones is tough. So the biggest question usually is, why should I even put $1 into China? So it's a bit of a macro question first. And I guess on the performance, as you have seen, we've created alpha every year, and we're way above the benchmark. Also, compared to competitors, I think we're up there. So I think the hardest question is usually, why China? And if China, I think Banyan is a good way to do it.
Okay, understood. And is it like do you have your own messaging today in the place, your own positioning, your own edge, your own unique selling point? Have you already crafted that inside internally your own fund?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. So what I've heard from others or what I've looked at our competitors, I think it's sometimes might be considered similar. So I think we should be maybe a bit bolder in our messaging. But I think since I came here, I instantiated that we should really be more differentiated in our messaging and not just say what others are saying. Because usually Chinese funds that market outside of China say, yeah, they have very experienced team that has both a China angle and a global angle. They say they do deep research and they have good clients usually. And this is just buzzwords that everybody says. So what we say now is that we have a unique private equity background because Shin has worked with JP Morgan, Chase Capital Partners. So that's something nobody else can copy. That we have proprietary quantitative tools that are our own. So nobody has the same view as we do. And we have a unique network based on the 4 co-founders that goes very deep into many industries in China, which also nobody else can copy because it specifically belongs to the people that work at Banyan.
So when you're saying the differentiation side with the messaging, is it like your own positioning in the industry? Is that what you have already worked on?
Yes.
So it's like more on your own background or on the founder background of the fund.
Yes.
Okay. And how has the response been when you have already done the shift on that?
So I think the response or what I've heard from other third-party marketers is that when they look at competitors, nobody has the background that Shin has. So maybe in outside of China, many people have done PE before they've done public equity, but in China it's relatively unknown. So we can really say we have a deep understanding of industries, deep understanding of business models and which business model work, and not just the trader. So you need to first understand what the business does, and then you can trade around if you understand the difference between the value and the price. And in China, where there's a lot of volatility, you can really profit of the price swings when you really understand the worth of a business. And I think many competitors don't really do it because they're just focused on what's happening next quarter in the numbers, and they don't understand what a good business model is and how it evolves over 5 to 10 years.
Okay. What do you have for close-up rate today?
Say again?
What do you have for close-up rate metric on the investors that you have already engaged with before? I mean, let's say that you have already reached out to 100 investors today. Do you have any metric on what the close-up rates that you are actually getting in the end of the line?
Well, not more than 2 or 3%, I would say, for now.
From 100.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it could also be because they're badly qualified. So for now, because it's been all warm contacts, I've been just spraying and praying, as the saying goes.
Yeah.
So some are just not relevant. So I guess since I started, I have a list where I added names I talked to about Banyan, and it's at least 200 to 300. And the close rate is not more than 2 or 3%.
Okay. And since when are you doing the same method of the same strategy?
Since November 23.
So it's around 2 years.
Yeah, 1.5, 2 years.
Okay. And how many outreach have you done since then?
Say again?
How many outreach have you done since then?
What? Oh, outreach. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I guess 3 to 4, 500. So that's another issue. So we don't have a CRM yet. So the tracking I think is underdeveloped. So I think we should. We talked before, actually, right before the call. We talked about that the CRM would help us figure out where the actual leakage is better, and that we can literally track the metrics, as you're saying. So everything I'm giving you now is unfortunately not tracked as closely as I think a great sales organization should be doing. So there's also some improvement there.
Understood. Since November 2023, how much have you already closed in new capital?
So in China, I don't know. So outside of China, it's basically we've been working on this AMC since then. So in the numbers I gave you before, like around 5 to 10 million since then, because this is the first time we can actually offer our strategy outside of China in a fund-like structure. Of course, you can always do separate managed accounts, but we haven't closed one since I came.
Okay, so 1.5 years, soft commitment, 5 to 10 million. Is that what you tell me?
Yes.
Okay. So if you want to rise up to 30 million, as you have already mentioned to me before, let's say that the first target, as you have already mentioned it, how long it would take you if you will have the same process as you have today?
You can do the math.
I mean, that's your business. That's not my own to do math for you, correct?
What?
It's not my own business to do the math on you, correct?
Oh, yeah, no, I get it. Yeah, no, it needs improvement. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you will take you 1 to 5 years, one
Yes.
to 1.5 year to rise 5 to 10 million of commitment, so you can see how long it will take you to rise 30 million. The issue right here, as I can see right here, is you are not documenting the whole sales process. Okay, that's the biggest issue. All right. So first of all, you need to have a CRM. Okay.
Yes.
And you need to qualify how many outreach you are doing to the right ones, to the qualified ones, not to someone who is not relevant with what you are doing. Okay. To the qualified ones who are actually interested in what you are doing and what you are getting for response, what the positive response that you are getting. So you will also write that down. So you will understand of those who you have already reached out to, what they have already told you on your own metrics or on your own materials. At this, you will have a better picture on where is the issue. Is it from our own materials? Is it from our own positioning? Is it from our own edge? From our own unique selling points that we have already introduced to them? Or is it like from our own outreach method that we are not getting to the right ones? So you will start to fight the whole issue. Right here, you are just going into the marketplace and you going all in and you just doing everything and you don't have any metric on how you can do the same thing in way better way. As this case, you will just keep going into the same circle, and with the time you will feel like, all right, you will start to burn out. All right, it hasn't worked out and I'm not getting my own commission that I have already promised my own self to get it. You understand?
Yes.
Yeah. And so that's what you need actually to think about. So 300 to 400 outreach that you have already done from 2023 November, it's absolutely fine to do that, but you could do more.
Yes.
That's what you could have actually done. But if you will never do more if you don't have any metric on how you can do better before you are doing more, correct?